Okay, so we now have our first piece of wood and our second piece of wood. I have stopped before the line in every case, and as I'd expect to see, it's a good thing to see that they don't actually go together yet. That's good because we can always remove more material. We can't put it back again. So now, just to finish up, we would see where we need to remove material by lining them up. I can see here that this piece right there needs a little skim with a chisel, so I'd return that back into here, and I would never do what I'm doing now, that's going towards my fingers. Put it back into the vise, and we'd remove a little bit more, just a fraction more, and when we're happy that we're nice and tight again, we can try it again until it just pushes together, forming a nice tight interlocking finger joint. Okay. And after a little bit of comparing and chiselling, it should be quite a tight fit, and you can force them together. Don't force them too much or we can break some of those pins, but with a little bit of encouragement it should form a nice tight fit. You'll notice they do overlap, that's on purpose, and we can remove those once it's been glued together. Once it's cured, i.e. it's gone hard and it's gone off the glue, then we can go onto our belt sander and we can remove those overlapping pins. Okay, we're now going to glue our two parts together, and we're going to glue them using our wood glue, which is also known as PVA. It's actually a type of plastic called polyvinyl acetate, and it will go on wet. You need to put a little drop on, don't use too much, and you can spread it. Now I'd recommend using a little piece of wood to spread it rather than your finger as I'm doing now. And we need to get it in there around all of those, the insides of those teeth on both pieces of wood. When we've done that on all of the inside edges, then we can once again we can push them together like so. Now whenever you use PVA, there's always a little bit of excess glue, and this will dry in a rock hard plastic. It'll go clear, but it'll be very difficult to remove because it'll be very hard. So it's always worth at this stage removing any excess using a damp, not a wet cloth, but a damp cloth, just making sure that it's been removed from your wood, so that it's really only the edges, the inside edges, that are going to glue together. That will form a very, very strong bond, but it will be very wet for at least an hour. It takes about 4 hours at least to its its full strength of its connection. But then we can leave it on the bench to dry. Now, the bad thing about PVA is that it does take an hour to dry. So you can't do much else to your work now, you must leave it behind. That's why it's always worth gluing things at the end or towards the end of your lesson. But its good thing is it gives us a bit of time to make sure that it's in the correct place. We haven't got to worry about it instantly forming that bond. So we're going to check that that's 90 degrees, use a tri-square. If it's not, we've got a bit of time to move it. Check that it's 90 degrees, and then we can leave it somewhere safe. And we can come back to that next lesson.